Hey everyone, in this video I wanted to show you a design technique that you can do in Affinity by Canva. Affinity by Canva is free. I'll put a link in the description here. Now this technique is for posters, more specifically distressed edges on posters. This has become really popular with the Japanese posters like these right here, but you might also see them on other poster styles on t-shirts like these right here. So this is real easy to do in Affinity, but I think it actually elevates your design to make that vintage look even stronger. So I did a video earlier, this one right here, of how to do it with Canva and how to bring that in. They have some distressed edges, but if you don't have Canva, you can still just use Canva by Affinity or Affinity by Canva, which is absolutely free, and I'll show you how to do this all inside of Canva. Now you're going to have to make a poster, and you can do this with AI. I'm going to use this one right here. I'm not going to show you how to do that because you can make any poster you want. Just make sure that it has is it a tall rectangle shape. I'm going to just bring it into Affinity right now, and I'll show you a couple of different steps on how to make this work in Affinity for free. Alright, so here I am on Affinity by Canva. You can see the new logo right here. The first things first is we need to start a new one, so I'm going to go to File, New, or you can press Command N. I have a preset, I believe. I'll scroll down here. I thought I did. Oh, there it is. It's at the top, not below. So at the top I have the preset 4500 by 5400. If you don't have this, you can click on any one and then add the page width and page height, 4500 pixels, 5400 pixels, and then hit Create Document. Boom, that's step one. Step two is we're going to make a rectangle. So go to your rectangle tool. Make sure you're in the vector one, not the pixel. We could do it in pixel, but I like doing vector stuff, so I'm going to do it in vector. I'm going to do this shape tool, the rectangle tool right here, click on it, and I'm just going to make it, a tall rectangle shape, about the size that you think your poster will be on the t-shirt. So about this size, give some room for the edges here. It doesn't have to be all the way to the edge. In fact, it's better if it's not, because we're going to cut out the edges, or we're going to erase the edges. I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to make it black since we have the white on here. Or a dark gray. Make sure the outline is nothing there, and the inside can be whatever color you want. Just make sure it's dark enough to see on the white on here. So there needs to be some contrast. I would just center it. If you have this up here, I added this to my top. I'm going to align horizontal, and that's pretty good right there. Okay, so that's step two. Very easy. Next one, this is where we're gonna make it a little bit difficult. I'm gonna draw something with the pen tool, and it's just a straight line. So the pen tool right here, click on it, click here and here, and you can see there's the straight line. Make sure that the stroke here, you can go between these, so there's stroke, there's fill, stroke and fill. Make sure you're on the stroke here, and make the stroke bigger so you can see it. There it is. Now this is the step that's going to make it different. So we're going to go to this black arrow here, or move tool, click on that so that we can move it around. Next thing we're going to look for is path brushes. Yours may be in a different spot, but it's this one right here. You can see all the different brushes. There's a ton of them. In fact, if you do this drop down, there's acrylics, dry media, and so on. We're going to go to inks, just like that, inks. And I like using this jagged ink one right here, 64. You should have it. I think it comes with Affinity. All these brushes, actually path brushes, come with Affinity for free, which is kind of crazy. So click on here, and you'll notice this changed. It's not straight anymore, it's jagged. But we can make this bigger. So just go all the way big like this, 100 points. And now we can move this around like this, and just, you could even turn it upside down if you want. The more jagged edges, you see that right there. We can also play around with it. So if we click right here, you see this edit stroke settings. You can click on that, and we can go to properties even. So go to properties, and you notice it comes up right here, and we can move this line around here, kind of making it different. We can move the border width bigger and so on. Look at that. That's kind of cool, right? And then we can still move it around, so there's still a path that you can move around like that. So whatever you want to do, I wouldn't change the opacity variance. That doesn't do much, but you can see we can change the border width bigger and smaller, so play around with that. And you notice the edge right here is kind of jaggedy, so that's kind of what we want there. And we can move this around too, and kind of move things around like this, so you know, just gives it some height difference and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 4 of these. So let's do that. We can close this here. You can always open it up. I'm going to click this, hold down Option, and drag down, and I'm going to turn this around. Boom, right there, like that. And again, we can move this to the edge here, like that. And we can move it around, and we can play with the properties that are here, and play with the width and so on. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to click on it, scroll it up, turn it 90 degrees like that. Bring it up here, click on it. Whoops, it's grabbing both of these. We just want to grab this one right there with the move tool. We're still using the arrow here. We can make this longer. We can make this shorter too on the bottom here. And lastly, I'm going to grab this again, holding down Option, click and drag and turn. Right? Now, however way you want to do it, just make sure that the edges are covered. You can see it right there. We can play around with this too, so if we want to do this one, come in here, click on this, the properties, play around with this edge here like this, so it's not exactly a mirror of that one. We can do that, and so on. So we could do the same with this one, move it around, maybe make it variant a little bit, and make that different or longer like that, whatever you want. So play around with it. It will change the way that the edges look, right? So we're going to go back to layers here. Once you get that all right, we can move this. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to not see the black. I'll show you what I mean. So even if it's over a little bit like that, it doesn't matter. We just want it to cover the edges so that they're not straight edges. And you can see they're not straight edges when you look at this gray box now. They're not straight edges, right? So we're going to go to the layers. We have all these 4, so hold down Shift and click on all these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do Command G. Command G, or you can right click on here, and I think it has group. Yeah, right there. Group, Command G. Boom. Alright, so that's grouped. Now we have the rectangle that's below and the grouped one. We're going to click both of those and also hit Command G or group. And then open up the group and hit that group of lines here, not the rectangle, the group of the 4 lines that we made. And then instead of pass through, we're going to do erase. Look at that. There's our distressed lines here. Now if we zoom in, we should see that, yeah, the edges are good. Hold down your space bar and you can have the move tool, and you can see that's pretty cool, right? So we don't have the poster yet, but the poster would go in here. So I'm going to show you the poster that I got. This is one of them that I made with AI. I'm going to drag it in here. It's pretty big, so I'm going to size it down here. I upscaled it in tgb.lol. Want to make sure that it's the right size, so make sure that it's, you know, the edges right here kind of match the edges of that one, like that. And what we're going to do, you can see it's up here in the top here. What we're going to do is we're just going to drag it into the rectangle like this. You see that? Boom. And now we can kind of stretch it out and make sure that the edges are not touching. and move it down if we want. All inside. What's happening is the rectangle is now a mask of this. So we're masking it inside the rectangle. You can make it bigger, move it down the way you want it, and so on. Just make sure that it's looking the way you want it. So I'm going to make it bigger here. I'm trying not to get those edges, that black edge right here. So I'm trying to put it behind here. So there you go. That's all it takes to do it. Now, here's one more step you could do. I know a lot of posters do this. When you have the rectangle here, you can kind of make like a black, smaller rectangle. Go to color, make sure that's black, make this nothing here. And some people like to put like this black rectangle just to give it look like it had a frame before. I don't think it's necessary, but it kind of looks cool that it breaks it. Up to you if you want to do that. I think it doesn't need it, and you could do that smaller too. So one way is to do the stroke and just make it really thin like that. I think about like there. That kind of adds some coolness to it, I think. But again, you don't have to have it on there. Without it, I think it looks still pretty cool. Now when you export it, make sure when you click on the artboard and we go to color, there's nothing. It's not a white background, it's no background and no stroke. And then we go to export PNG at the top right here. Hit that, export, and call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it my Corgi Samurai. Of course yours will be different. Samurai, I don't know how to spell, and hit save. And we're going to see it export, and I'm going to show you what it looks like now. I'll pull it in here, double click, and the gray means that's the background. So it's going to look great on a black t-shirt. It's going to look great on a white t-shirt as well. You have that distressed edges. It's going to be cool. I think it does a really cool way of just doing that for free in Affinity by Canva. You don't have to import anything. It was all done in Affinity. Well, you do need to make the poster and drag that in, but as far as the edges, you don't need to do it in anything else. You can do it right in Affinity and play around with that. Those different brushes. That was just one of the brushes. There's tons of different brushes. Jagged definitely is more jagged, but you can do other brushes too and kind of do the same thing and knock it out. There's some cool brush ones, some other cool ones like that too. So lots of ways to do this with the brushes on there. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And it's provided all in Affinity today. You don't have to upload or buy brushes or anything like that. It's pretty cool. All right, there you go. There's that design technique. Totally for free in Affinity by Canva. Again, my link will be in the description if you don't have that already. I have more videos about how to use that, but if you want to see that other video that I did a long time ago where you can do this same thing in Canva, I'll put that link right here. It's actually not in Canva, it's using Photopea, but using Canva frames to do it. So Photopea is free. Canva, you may need the Canva Pro account to do that. Thanks again for watching, and as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.